with our festivities, I would like Mike Chadwick to come up to the microphone. He has something to announce.
Mr. Robert Cassani, we would like to present this plaque to you for instrumental music director, our appreciation for you, hard work and dedication from the Fort Couch Band and Orchestra students. Please come up here and accept this plaque.
I would like to take 1 minute to introduce some of the guests that we have with us today. We have Mrs. Harshman and Mr. and Mrs. Harshman's son Kurt, and Mr. Harshman's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Fred Harshman. We have Mr. Tom Hughes, Mrs. Harshman's father, and his friend, Maureen Welsh. Patty Tressler is here, along with her daughter, Patty Ann Tressler. Dr. Pope is with us, and Mrs. Linda Serene. Tom? Last November 30th, you presented us with a marvelous rededication extravaganza, complete with patriotic singing, balloons, and even chimney bricks. But there was one thing that was missing, and that was the proper way to say thank you to you for all of the hard work that you went through over the past 5 years in helping the Renaissance of Fort Couch come to be. So we'd just like to take a few minutes today to say thank you to you and welcome home. Before we get up, knowing you as well as we do, we have come prepared with the first box of Kleenex, a little crown. You notice how we dressed in purple to honor royalty, and a boutonniere. Tom, this has been in the planning stages for a very long time. We have had the help and cooperation of all of the students, all of the faculty, your parents, your friends, your family, even St. Clair Hospital. Did you feel it was a little strange today that you weren't able to have your therapy? So just sit back and enjoy this.
This poem was written by one of our mothers, Mrs. Marilyn Nelson. Mr. Harshman, this was written especially for you. How did this old dim factory become what it is today? A man named Harshman came along, transformation was on its way. And he undertook to change the school from one folks would deride into a place where kids could grow from the dream he had inside. Round and round he went with some of those who didn't see things his way, but he coaxed and he fought and pursued his dream till reality dawned one day. So innovation became the word and the academics changed. The atmosphere grew warmer too, only renovation still remained. Hard work and inconvenience loomed, but never dulled his drive. And soon the Renaissance was here, his dream had come alive. More open than closed his office door, he knows each of us by name. And without his presence would PTA or even socials be the same? And so today we salute this man who treats us all as friends. Whether teacher, student, parent, worker, his caring never ends. Now some call him boss, some sir, some Tom, or by titles of every sort, but we know what he means to each of us as the leader of our fort.
When things you want seem far, far away. Mr. Harshman, for the next part of our program, we have a special surprise in store. We prepared a history lesson we hope you'll enjoy. It's not exactly ancient history, although it begins a very long time ago. This is a personal history, your history. It's our tribute to you, Mr. Harshman. This is your life. This has to be a 2-box day, and it's low bid, too. Ralph Edwards couldn't be with us today, but we'll do the best we can.
We're going to start at the beginning. To do that, we're going back through time. Way back. But I think we've gone back a little too far. We're getting warmer. Can we try that again, please?
That's better. You were born Thomas Henry Harshman on December 3rd, 1946, in Washington, PA. You are the fourth of 7 children. Here you are at 15 months old, looking rather content with life.
By 18 months, it looked like you're ready to get down to some serious business. Your family tells us that as a child, you were always too thin? It's gotta be a typo. So your grandfather called you Spider.
When it was time for school, you attended Immaculate Conception grade school and high school. You enjoyed being involved in school activities and served as an altar boy. Well, am I glad I'm Presbyterian. A big part of family life was centered around your father's Isley store. It was a great place for a boy who loved ice cream. When you weren't in school or the store, you might be busy with a favorite pastime, building forts in the woods. You didn't know that many years later, you would work in a fort and get the chance to rebuild it. You would still have your very own fort to play in.
You were a very lucky kid. Not only could you get ice cream at your dad's store, your grandfather managed 3 movie theaters where you could get in for free. Reliable sources tell us to this day, there's hardly anything you like better than ice cream in a movie.
Here you are at 13, the same age as many of the students here at Fort Couch. It was about this time something happened that would change your life. Your 8th grade teacher, Dolores Cabucci, was a special person, and it was because of her that you decided to become a teacher. She was the sister of voice teacher Andrew Cabucci.
After graduation from Immaculate Conception High School, you attended the Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Here you pursued an interest in theater and became the IUP stage manager. In our exhaustive background search, we have found the young lady who sat between you and your future wife in physical science class. Carol Hudak recalls that it was hard for her to pay attention in class because you kept giving her notes to pass. She was quite certain that you were more interested in Diane Hughes than you were in physical science.
Your first teaching job after college was in Shaker Heights, Ohio, where they had an outstanding theater program. You were accompanied by your wife, the girl you wrote notes to in class. Returning closer to home, you joined the faculty at Upper St. Clair High School, where you started the musicals. You took great pride in the students' work and have kept track of them over the years.
Ann Talman, who played the female lead in Music Man, has gone on to Broadway. You visited with her after one show and were given an autograph and a kiss by the show's star, Elizabeth Taylor. Another former student, Dave Simpson, was in London skating in Starlight Express. He called from London recently to find out how you were feeling.
Finally, 4 years ago, you were given the chance to go where you belong, to your own fort, our Fort Couch Middle School. It was time to build again. It was your chance to make a real difference, and you took it.
When you arrived at Fort Couch, you spent a quiet first year. It was a time for observing, learning, and reading. You wanted to know, why do we do this? It was the quiet before the storm. When you returned to start your second year, you came with some new ideas. There were some changes to be made, and things haven't been the same since.
You asked, what if? You weren't interested in why not. You said, when somebody tells me no, it means you didn't understand me the first time. So you try again, and again, and again, and again. You believe ideas are worth fighting for. When someone else has a good idea, you want to know, how can we do it?
Your openness and willingness to listen have created a very democratic system. You admit that running Fort Couch is not a one-man job, so you form committees to help solve problems. You're a great communicator, a super delegator, and you don't know how to say no.
Not only did you start making changes within the school, you started to reach outside the building. You wanted to do more for the students, and you needed more help to do it. So you put out the welcome mat for parents. You took a more active and enthusiastic role in PTA. You were eager to allow the parents a bigger part. One example of this is how the socials have grown and changed in the last 4 years.
The socials have always been just dances. One mom recalls how she would sell pop from the Falcon's Nest and you would supervise the kids. The two of you were the only adults there. Boy, have things certainly changed. Now there are more socials, more kids come, and there's more for them to do. Besides dancing, there's ping pong, basketball, volleyball, or just hanging out with your friends. It's safe, and it's fun, and it's supervised. Boy, is it ever supervised. Now there are at least 20 parents at each social. Some of the parents enjoy the social so much, they chaperone even when their own kids aren't there.
You've encouraged a wide range of PTA-sponsored programs. This year we had to focus on the arts. Last year it was Space and Future Week. And before that, Body Works. You want to expose the students to a world of possibilities, to make them think, to light a spark, and help them find their futures.
Besides parents, you were able to involve the JCs. Fort Couch has become a special project for them with the monthly teen canteens.
Behind all of this is your belief that the school is for the students. We're the reason for the whole thing. Instead of the kids fitting the mold is made to fit the kids. And that's one idea you won't give up on.
This all sounds very serious, but anyone around you knows that you can't go very long without telling a funny story or laughing and making everyone else laugh. Having fun is important, and you've worked that into your whole approach. We can laugh, have fun, and get the job done. Your motto for all of this could be, is everyone having fun yet? Of course, it's not all fun and games. You've compared life at Fort Koch with 600 adolescents at a roller coaster ride, sometimes up and sometimes down. But when all is said and done, you want to do it again. A sense of humor really helps to get us through each day. It's even okay to laugh at ourselves.
You're not afraid to let yourself be the object of the joke. Each year at the holiday assembly, you take center stage in some crazy getup.
One year, you came as one of Santa's elves. And we thought they were supposed to be little guys. I mean, they're short. Another year, you were a cheerleader.
And last year, you took a pie in the face from a very enthusiastic Mrs. Rice.
Of course, you haven't been up there alone. Other members of the staff have joined in the fun. Over the last 4 years, they've dressed as different celebrities. Dolly Parton, Mr. T, Steve Urkel from Family Matters, Elvis, and many more. One year, in front of the whole school, you spray painted Mr. Chris's hair black. Last year, a campaign developed to save or shave Mr. Zott's beard. There were signs, off with the beard, and from the other side, save the beard. It's all in good fun and helps raise money for Reach Out. You were out sick for this year's assembly, and we miss seeing you in your kilt. You owe us one, Mr. Harshman.
It hasn't been the same here without you the past few months. The office bulletin board has been neglected and lonely. The staff has less to read each day. We need some more pictures hung up.
We've heard that even the family dog was anxious for you to return to work. This is your dog, Terry Bradshaw. I guess he was a Steelers fan. His long daily walks almost wore his legs off. Now it's wonderful to have you back. But you know, it won't be long before one of the staff tells you to go to your room, Mr. Harshman. Guess things haven't changed since you were a kid.
The book on your years here at Fort Koch wouldn't be complete without a long chapter on the renovation. You started out like any kid making out a Christmas list. Every time you thought of something else, it was added to your list. And you must have been a very good boy because Santa gave you more than you ever expected. Throughout the project, you kept a handle on everything. You worked to make the new building special. You wanted it to be more than just functional. Instead, it took on a whole different atmosphere. Homey, warm, and inviting. A place people would want to be.
Getting through it, though, was a hard job. From the planning stage through the construction to the finished product was a long haul. It became your constant companion. You had it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and all those snacks in between. It got in the car and followed you home from school each day.
At school, there was dust and noise and debris. Some mornings, the dust hung so thick in the air, you could hardly see the end of the halls. The fire alarms were so confused they didn't know what to do. The new school song could be The Bells of Fort Couch. In spite of all this, it was rewarding to see how the teachers and students pulled together to survive. Classes were taught and lessons were learned, and everyone cooperated.
When it was finally finished, you were proud to open up your school, your fort, to the whole community. Like the main character in Fiddler on the Roof, you believed in tradition, in family, community, and roots. You want the kids to understand that they belong to something bigger than themselves, and you want them to know that we stand on the past to reach for the future. So you hosted a rededication ceremony and brought back people who were part of Fort Couch's history. And you told the kids that it takes all of us, it takes many people working together to accomplish great things. Then you opened the doors and the people came, the families with young children to see what would be their school one day, the families of the students, and older residents, some who had attended the school years ago. It was a proud time.
Now that the renovation is behind you, it's back to business as usual. Although, around here, business is never usual. Being the boss in the fort is a job that requires a lot of different skills. You have to wear many hats.
You're the coach calling the plays, you're the cheerleader yelling encouragement to the players. You're a juggler trying to balance the needs of the students, teachers, parents, and administration. You're a PR man and a ringmaster, calling attention to amazing educational feats being performed in your classroom.
When you leave Fort Couch each day, you go to your home here in Upper St. Clair that you share with your wife Diane, your 15-year-old son Kurt, and your parents. You love books, movies, great show tunes, and spending time in Deep Creek, Maryland, out on your boat. When asked what has been the best thing that ever happened to you in your life, your wife answered that you would say without hesitation, it was your son, Kurt.
Mr. Harshman, we hope you've enjoyed this look back at your life. Now all that's left to do is to thank you for letting us be a part of it.
comes a time of life when a man must do what's right, take a stand and fight for what he believes. Like the knights of old, standing up so brave and bold, till the dragon was dead, they'd never leave. You're that kind of God. It's your destiny. You'll make things right. You'll win the fight. Just wait and see. You're that kind of God. A hero for all foretell. There's no need to fear. You'll always be here. You're that kind of God. Now the future's bright, since everything's alright. We're all glad that you will be around. Remember old Fort Couch, renovation was a grouch, though it was such a mess, you pulled us through. You're that kind of guy, you know it's your destiny. You'll make things right, you'll win the fight, just wait and see. You're that kind of guy, a hero for all foretell. There's no need to fear, you'll always be here. You're that kind of guy. Well, we're all glad things are back to normal now. But let's take a moment to reflect upon some of the men who've made Fort Couch the great school it is today. Men like Dr. Eichhorn, Mr. Wasson, Cowboy George Walker, Tom the Blaze, Dr. Pope, and who could forget, Tom Harshman, great men of our day. You're that kind of guy, you know it's your destiny. You'll make things right, you'll win the fight, just wait and see. You're that kind of guy, a hero for all foretell. There's no need to fear, you'll always be here. You're that kind of
Here now, if you want. Yeah, well, you may not need it. We want to thank you even for your cooperation in helping us plan this day today. You very, very conveniently took off the past couple months so we could come out from hiding and plan things during the day rather than having to do it under cover. And we would like to present you with this plaque so you'll remember the day.
Well, this is the first time I've ever really been surprised. My wife tried to surprise me at a birthday party a few years ago. And I saw all the cars pulling up, and I knew something was going on next door, and since it just happened to be my birthday, I sort of figured it out, but I'm absolutely stoned. There is no way I knew anything about this. I was out to lunch with Mrs. Serene, which is not unusual for the 3 years I've known her. We've enjoyed that quite a few times and sharing ideas. And I wondered why she kept looking at her watch, and she kept saying, well, I have to go back. And I kept saying, but I'm in no hurry. I can't leave for Deep Creek till later. It's all right. And then she took a wrong turn down here. I said, remember, you're taking me home. I'm not going back to work today. She said, oh, yeah, I have to go to the bank. We pulled around the front, and I saw a big sign up, and I thought, oh, God. What a rotten thing to do. I enjoyed every minute of it. I am emotional, and it always lets me down, because it's very hard to not let your feelings be shown. And I do love you. When I saw my wife here, and I thought, oh my God, you know, Tom DeBlaze is going to pay for this. Because I agreed with Dr. Pope after I had my heart attack, and he said he wanted to put Tom in charge, and I thought, there's no better person, because I knew that you would all be in great hands, and he has done a fantastic job, and I think God will applaud him. I think I surprised a few people after I was sick that I didn't come back here even after I was home. And it's not because I didn't want to. But I came real close to dying, I know I did. And it scared me real bad. And I wanted to come back to be with you, and I didn't want to screw it up. And I feel good now. I feel really strong, and I know I'm going to be all right. But a lot of people said to me, what were you doing for 3 months? And they would see me walking into the mall, and they knew that I was going to the movies, and I'd even gone to the high school to see the musical. But I stayed away because I just wanted to make sure that when I came back that I was ready, and I wanted to look good, and I wanted to feel good, and I wanted to come back strong. And I think I've done that. And today, you made me feel wonderful. This is great. Thanks. Okay. The principal, he's still the principal. Remember what I told you? The principal said he wants to go back to the homerooms now and get ready to get on the buses. Thank you very much.